If joining us virtually or by phone, we ask that you mute your phone when not speaking to avoid background noise so you will not disturb the meeting. As you come to the microphone, please state your name and city for the record if attending in person. This is your time to raise your hand if you're joining us virtually. When your name is called, please state your name and city for the record. The mayor and commission are required to disclose contacts with proponents or opponents on any item on the planning and zoning agenda. At this time, does any member of the commission wish to disclose any contact with proponents or opponents on any item on the agenda?
Commissioner Davis.
Thank you, Mayor. I have spoken with proponents of SP 2025-091.
Commissioner Bynum.
Thank you, Mayor. Prior to the January 8th meeting, I had communication from opponents of item 6.1C, special use 2025-082. However, since that date, I've not heard from opponents. I've heard from a proponent.
Thank you. Commissioner Kump.
Thank you, Mayor. I've been contacted by proponents of SP 25-82.
Thank you. Commissioner Burns.
Mayor, I have had conversations with SB 2025-084.
Commissioner Pacheco.
Thank you, Mayor. I've had contact from a proponent for SP 2025-082.
Okay, clerk, you can go ahead and read down the items.
Thank you. I will now read the items on the consent agenda. Special use permits, item 6.1A, SP 2025-079, Michelle Branscombe, a recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit for a non-owner occupied short-term rental at 4313 Booth Street, recommended for approval by a vote of 6-0 for 1 year. Item 6.1B, SP 2025-080, Romolio Soto, a recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit for temporary use of land for a shipping container on a residential property at 1129 North 36th Street, recommended for approval by a vote of 6-0 for 6 months. Item 6.1C, SP 2025-082, Jaime Garcia, a recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit for automobile sales at 1809 North 7th Street, recommended for approval by a vote of 6-0 for 2 years. Item 6.1D, SP 2025-083, Santos Arnales, a recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit for an event venue with live entertainment and liquor sales at 5235 State Avenue, recommended for approval by a vote of 6-0 for 2 years. Item 6.1E, SP 2025-084, Joe and Veronica Quinn, a recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit for a non-owner occupied short-term rental at 320 North 14th Street, recommended for approval by a vote of 6-0 for 1 year. Item 6.1F, SP 2025-085, Sean and Heather Thompson with Cloud9 Stays LLC, a recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit for a non-owner occupied short-term rental at 1825 North 86th Street, recommended for approval by a vote of 6-0 for 1 year. Item 6.1G, SP 2025-086, Jeffrey Steinberg with Apex Technical Institute, a recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit for a commercial truck driving school at 6801 State Avenue, recommended for approval by a vote of 6-0 for 5 years. Item 6.1H, Rajiv Shabara, a recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit for a non-owner occupied short-term rental at 4508 Rainbow Boulevard, recommended for approval by a vote of 6-0 for 1 year. Item 6.1I, SP 2025-093, Dottie Bradley, a recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit for a non-owner occupied short-term rental at 4200 Adams Street, recommended for approval by a vote of 6-0 for 1 year. Item 6.1J, SP 2025-095, Stephanie Pretty, a recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit for keeping 2 goats at 6332 Parkview Avenue, recommended for approval by a vote of 6-0 for 2 years. Item 6.2, vacation application, VAC 2025-004, David Hill with DH4 Legends LLC, vacation of utility easements for a commercial building at 9700 State Avenue, recommended for approval by a vote of 6-0. Mayor, that represents all of the items on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Does any member of the commission, the county administrator, or the public wish to set aside any item on the planning and zoning consent agenda? If an item is set aside, all items on the planning and zoning consent agenda will be voted on by one vote to follow the recommendation of the Planning Commission. Has anyone contacted the clerk's office and asked for an item to be set aside?
We've had no contact.
Okay. If there is anyone in attendance, would you like to set aside an item? If so, please state your name and city for the record and the agenda item to be set aside. First, I have Commissioner Howard first. Hold on.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to set aside item number CSP 2025-082.
Okay. Commissioner Hill?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to set aside SP 2025-080.
All right. And then we had someone in the audience who wanted to it's already been set aside? Okay, great.
David, second.
It's been second and motion. I'm sorry? Oh, Commissioner Ramirez.
Thank you, Mayor. Just for clarification, Madam Clerk, what were the set-asides?
We have SP 2025-082 from Commissioner Howard and SP 2025-080 from Commissioner Hill.
Thank you.
Can I get a roll call? We had a second and a.
Yes, thank you. Roll call, Pacheco,
Aye.
Stites, Davis,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Kump,
Aye.
Howard,
Aye.
Burns,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
The vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
Okay. Go ahead with the first item. Or from consent.
The first set aside was item 6.1C, SP 2025-082, Jaime Garcia, a recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit for automobile sales at 1809 North 7th Street, recommended for approval by a vote of 6-0 for 2 years.
Go ahead.
Hello, Jaime Garcia. Property addressing is 1809 North 7th Street, Kansas City, Kansas. I'm here for a temporary approval for a special use permit for a small auto sales business. I'm a long life Wyandotte County resident. You know, it was my dream to put my money back into the community. I've been able to do so now, and it's not easy, as we can see. But the building that I received, that I purchased not so long ago, it was abandoned. It was in pretty bad shape. Now that I've been able to contribute and put my money into it, I'm doing a little bit that I can to make it look better and for the community. The property is not zoned residential. It is an M3 heavy commercial industrial. If this was R1 residential property, I would fully understand the concerns that were brought up last time. I bought the property reliance to the existing code under M3 zoning, a small auto sales operation is less intensive than lower impact use than many heavy industrial uses. So that being said, I'm here just to get your guys' approval.
Okay. Do we have any comments from planning?
Good evening, OCD's News from Planning. So the property is zone M3. Hello, okay,
That
which
mic
is
will go.
heavy industrial. The applicant is currently requesting a dealership to be at the property, which its intensity is lower than what it currently is. That being, it requires a special use permit, and that means it goes through this commission. If the applicant wishes not to go through this route and decides to go through a heavier use, they're allowed to, and they would only have to apply for a commercial license. With that being said, staff recommends approval for 2 years.
Were there any comments from the commission board? Commissioner Howard? And then Commissioner Comp?
Thank you for being here today. This seems like it's been a hot topic for a while, and so I appreciate you for putting in your time and effort, energy, finances, all of that good stuff. While I understand that you all have put in time, energy, also taking the time to go through the process, purchase the building, go through the planning and zoning process, and you all understand what it is zoned as.
Right, that is correct.
I get that. But my problem is that where we fell short at is that we failed to give you all the information based upon the master plans that we have created over the years. In 2017, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with this because you're familiar with the code, but I wasn't for sure if you're familiar with the area plans that we have. Are you familiar with those? Okay. Well, before I speak then, because I wasn't for sure, can you explain to me what those area plans are?
OCD's News from Planning. Yes, Commissioner. So this is the Northeast area plan. The property it's split in two, where the main structure lays. It is currently zoned neighborhood mixed use. The eastern part of the property, it is zoned as lower medium density residential. I apologize, land use. With that being said, it's stated, I apologize, this mic keeps coming out. So we have the land use up there, and so small commercial businesses are allowed in this master plan. However, it's not defined. So I can't necessarily define and state that this is a commercial business. That would be, to my current knowledge, up to you guys to decide.
Is that good?
Miss Marcy, could I pull you in for a quick second? Hey, could you just talk to me a little bit about the aligning with the master plan and the businesses that are in that area?
Sure. Alice Marcy Planning. So what you're seeing right now is the future land use. So when the master plan was created, this was the vision for that area, which, as Osiris was stating, part of the parcel is in a mixed use land use area, future land, that is in a residential. The caveat comes in with the fact that this is a special use permit. If this was a final development plan, this would be, the master plan designation, there would be more conflicts there because it's a permit change, right? The challenge with a special use permit is that this project is not making a significant change. It's not going and tearing down a building and putting up an industrial facility. Those kinds of things do come with the master plans. So for us as planners, when we evaluate cases like this, short-term rentals have limits. They're temporary in nature, and this type of thing is not permanently changing the neighborhood. So that is why we have not, that's why we recommended it for approval. It's a lower use, right, per zoning, but however, to your point, I think there's a little bit of gray area in the master plan in terms of how you define what a small commercial business order, and I think that's your prerogative to decide whether that is significant enough to make a decision.
Thank you, Howard, District 1. So with that being said, even though it is zoned as M3, it would be at my discretion.
Yes, so correct. So land use and the master plans itself are one of the conditions in which, and I think, I don't know if we have legal. It's one of the factors to be considered under state statute in which you can use to make a decision about a case.
Okay, then the last thing would be, when we put this master plan together, which was the Plan KCK, what was the vision for that?
Yeah, so I'll say this broadly about all of our area plans as well as our comprehensive plans. So what area plans do is put together future land use designations. The problem that currently is that we were then supposed to update our zoning code to reflect that land use. That is the process that we have just entered now. So that is why things are a bit in conflict.
So had we updated it then this building here would be a part of that?
Correct.
Got it. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Commissioner Kump?
Thank you, Mayor. Kump, two at large, and thank you, Mr. Garcia, for being here. You had said you'd purchase that building, is that correct?
That is
When did you purchase that?
Jaime Garcia, property 1809 North 7th Street, 3 years ago.
So you've owned the building for 3 years and you've been trying to get a business in that building, but you keep running into
Right.
roadblocks at the UG level. Mayor, I think we should encourage local investment in our community. I think this is a man who wants to open a small business. This is a man who's from the community and wants to invest in the community. It is within the zoning ordinances as they're written. The use of the property would not exceed what it's zoned for. And I think, I think we should be encouraging local investment, especially small businesses. So I appreciate you being here. I know this has been a tough situation, but I would support the use of the property as presented. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Kump. Commissioner Ramirez?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My comments are more direct to Commissioner Howard. That is the frustration a lot of us on this board, and I'm sure with our planning staff as well, of trying to align our master plans that have been created with a very outdated zoning code. And I applaud our planning department for going through that because it has caused a lot of issues. The master plan in my district for Rosedale, and I'm sure many across, it's hard to implement with a very outdated code. And so we share the frustration, we share the same frustration. But now we're trying to get there to update that code now. I know I and Commissioner Bynum have been advocates for it as long as I have been on the commission to get this code updated. We've been doing it piecemeal and it's just not worked. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Ramirez. Commissioner Howard?
Thank you all, Commissioner Howard, District 1, for your comments. The most frustrating part to me is that in the midst of all of this, we don't give credit to the hard work that not only planning and zoning went through, but the community itself. All of those hours put in those listening sessions, those innovation labs, you understand, right? The frustration is that even through all of that, we still drop the ball, right? So what I would like for us to do currently, I would like to, as Commissioner Kump, commend you, right? But at the end of the day, that doesn't take away from the hard work that the community and planning and zoning and the rest of the staff worked very hard on this master plan, right? And so to negate that right? Because all of the areas have master plans, right? And some of those master plans that were delivered on, right? So we don't all share the same frustration because here we are, we have created a master plan and we're not following it, right? And that's not his fault at all. This is not about you. What I wanted us to do collectively is take responsibility for us dropping the ball, right? Because at the end of the day, you have put in the time and energy, and we don't want to stop you from opening the business. So I don't want to make it look like I'm trying to stop you from opening a business because I personally can't stop that. But what I want to do now as newly elected Commissioner of District 1 is I want to make a point that anyone that wants to come in and open up a business should be aware of the plans that those communities and this UG organization has put together, right? And so the fact that you're not even aware of the Northeast Master Plan and what the community has tried to put together for the Northeast specifically is concerning, right? So I applaud you. But at the same time, I want us to be aware of the work, right, that we're doing continuously. And then I want us as commissions, mayors, UG body to be aware that we're not following our own rules. We're not following our own protocol. So when we have to sit here in the chambers and deny people or approve because we dropped the ball or didn't drop the ball, whatever that is, we still haven't addressed our issues. We still haven't addressed us dropping the ball. And so until we fix that, I'm not here to keep anybody from getting a business, but at the end of the day, let's us take accountability for us not doing what we needed to do because I did my due diligence on this. I talked to the community members who worked very hard on this Northeast Master Plan, and they all said the same thing.
Okay,
So that's my take. Thank you.
thank you, Commissioner Howard. Commissioner Bynum?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to confirm what I think I heard you say, that because the original question I had as we were contemplating this was when we adopt an area master plan that has future land use desires, that is not in and of itself a mechanism that changes the current zoning of any parcel in that area. And I think I heard you say that the way that zoning for an area master plan would change is through our zoning code. What are there other ways that zoning would change other than an individual parcel owner presented in front of us to request that their parcel they own have a zoning change?
Alyssa Marcy Planning. So with any change in a zoning district, it is a change to the code. It does have to go through planning and Board of Commissioners. How that approach is done can vary. It can be, like you said, a change of zone. It can be a full, let's update the entire zoning code and change all of the zoning for all of Kansas City, Kansas. It could be a specific area. It could be, okay, we're only going to update our residential zones. There are a swath of approaches that we can take, and that's a conversation we can have with the code update. But yes, there's a multitude of ways.
And just to put it another way, we, the unified government, cannot indiscriminately change zoning of any privately owned parcel.
No.
Okay.
It has to be, there's a whole process and being posted in the Echo and going through the process for anything related to zoning
Okay,
change, yeah.
thank you.
Commissioner Davis?
Thank you, and I really appreciate this conversation. I think, with us having some retreats coming up, there's going to be time for us to really get very strategic and hopefully have a plan to address this issue. I do want to ask some questions to our planning staff. Do we have those area plans available for applicants that are interested in doing business with us? Like, is there a way for them to get this information prior to?
Alyssa Marcy Planning, yes. So two ways. One is when you have a pre-application meeting, it is identified which area plan you fall within. If you are in an area like Turner or Argentine, which doesn't have one, you would then be referred to the comprehensive plan. All of those things are fine.
Gotcha. But so that information is the applicant is made aware, correct?
OCD's News from Pami, correct. So during the pre-application meeting, 30 to 45 minutes, we break down the application, break down what we're wanting to do. I explain my professional recommendation and why. And then from that point on, we provide all the tools the applicant might possibly need to go through the application if they wish to.
Sure. Thank you. Ms. Garcia, thank you so much for your time here and your investment. You said you've been working on this for 2 years now, this particular project. Were you made aware just during that 2-year period of the existing Northeast Master Plan?
Jaime Garcia, I was aware a few months ago, and I was told it was years out, this master plan, and I'm only asking for a 2-year sub, so.
Gotcha. Years out, meaning it like because the adoption has been what, since almost 8 years now? Or what do you mean by years out?
Say it again.
What do you mean by years out?
The development, I heard it was about 10 years away from now. Is that so?
For the master plan
Right.
to actually come to life.
Correct.
There was there was time there. Gotcha. I'm trying to get at the disconnect here, because while we need to do some really hard policy work, I'm trying to make sure that that information was made available. Mr. Garcia, for your particular business, you're wanting to sell cars, repair cars. It says automotive sales, but I'm just trying to understand the full extent.
Strictly automotive sales.
Just so you are wanting to sell, and are we talking new vehicles? What's the nature of the sales?
At this moment, used.
Used vehicles. Gotcha. Within your line of work, you have experience with operating a this would be pretty much a dealership.
No, but I like cars.
Okay. Within your experience, are there other things from a commercial standpoint that you would be interested in that maybe would be more in alignment with the master plan?
Okay, so my question to you guys is, what is it that you guys would like to see?
And I guess that's kind of where I'm getting at, and I'm glad that you're open to it and you didn't have a different answers. Maybe this might be worth a conversation between the two commissioners that represent the area and you, Mr. Garcia, to see before you put any more money into this process and before we take a vote, that we see if there could be some meeting of the minds. That way this isn't kind of conflict driven, but maybe there could be some sort of compromise. I don't want you to hear that your business or your investment is not appreciated, but we don't necessarily want to create any particular permitting that would cause more conflict within the area. And so I'm just going to throw that out there, that perhaps a meeting of the minds could help, and planning could be there as well. And Ms. Garcia, if you're interested in some other business ventures that align with it, great. If not, would still love to give you a chance. That's just my 2 cents. Thank you, Mayor.
Commissioner Pacheco.
Thank you, Mayor Pacheco, District 5. Let me see where I'd like to start here. So, Mr. Garcia, can you confirm when you were actually given some form of information that there's some sort of a master plan?
Jaime Garcia, no. Like I said, it was just a conversation.
Okay. And conversation with who in particular?
Just the community.
The community. Okay, so nobody officially from the unified government gave you any sort of inclination of what this is? It's more just speaking with people in the community that, hey, we hear this is coming or something like that.
Well, yeah, so Osiris did mention it at the beginning, correct?
Okay. So a community meeting in which the UG was there, can I ask that to planning? So how did he get some sort of communication?
OCD's News from Planning. By communication, do you mean how did I communicate with the applicant?
Yes.
So the applicant reached out via, if I remember correctly, might have been a phone call, perhaps if not an email. And we set up a pre-application meeting. Then when the pre-application meeting, they essentially just explain what they're wanting to do, at what location. Based on that information, I will go ahead and explain like, hey, based on my professional recommendation, I think this is the best use, this is not because of X, Y, and Z. I do bring up the master plan, I do bring up the zoning, and I explain the entire process, timeline, fees, along with the breakdown of all the required documentations that they will have to provide, in addition to bringing down the application itself.
Okay. And this is not meant to be a gotcha or anybody did anything wrong, but I'm just trying to understand the situation. So, but this was something that Mr. Garcia brought to the unified government, to your department. Because I'm assuming he caught wind of it through speaking with people in the community, or somebody actually proactively contacted him about this. Where did the communication start, on his end, on our end?
Alyssa Marcy, Planning. I just want to jump in to kind of reaffirm something. With special use permits, because they are temporary in nature, the alignment with the master plan is not like it is with a final development plan, because it is temporary in nature and it is not a permanent change. So in this particular case, staff recommended approval, again, for those reasons. So even though we did make him aware in the long term, there might be a misalignment with the master plan. And again, I think it's part of a broader discussion that we need to have. At the end of the day, it is a temporary operation.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I have.
Are there any other comments? Yes, sir.
So, Jaime Garcia with, 1809 North 7th Street. Yeah, so all I'm asking is for that, special use permit for 2 years. I would like to take you up. I mean, like I said, I want to build skyscrapers on that plan, if so. Like I said, it just takes the money that I don't have.
Commissioner Bynum?
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to make a motion to approve special use permit for 2 years.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Howard wants to make a comment, but we do have a motion and a second. Go ahead, Commissioner Howard.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. I want to be clear. I want you to open your business. I really do. But more than anything, I want us to be more aware of where we dropped the ball. I really want you to open your business. I want you to do what you love to do and what you're passionate about and what your purpose and calling is in life. I don't want to stop that, because I can't, right? But at the end of the day, it really is about us being better at what we do. That's really what it's about, right? So I'm not here to come down on you or spare you from doing this. We want you to be a part of the community. You are a part of our community, right? But at the end of the day, as the newly elected commissioner of District 1, I have to make sure I'm doing the right thing, regardless. All right? And I appreciate you and everybody else who've put in so much time and energy to make this happen. So I appreciate you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Pacheco?
Aye.
Stites? Davis?
Aye.
Bynum?
Aye.
Comp?
Aye.
Howard?
Aye.
Burns?
Aye.
Ramirez?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
The vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners. Congratulations, Mr. Garcia. Appreciate you. We ought to give him a hand clap, y'all. That was a lot. Okay. Can we go to the next
Yes.
item, please?
Thank you, Mayor. Our next set aside is item 6.1B, SP 2025-080, Romolio Soto, a recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit for temporary use of land for a shipping container on a residential property at 1129 North 36th Street, recommended for approval by a vote of 6-0 for 6 months.
Okay, I'm going to ask the staff to make some opening remarks about this item.
OCD's News from Planning. So the applicant, Ms. Romelia Soto, she is currently requesting a special use permit for land use for a temporary shipping container. Planning had previously recommended a 1-year approval for this. However, that was amended by the Planning Commission Board and brought down from 1 year to 6 months. Staff.
Okay. Okay, are you guys the applicant? You're representing this item?
Correct.
Okay. Please state your name and address for the record.
Okay,
You-
my name,
And then you'll provide go ahead.
I am Evelyn Mendez. I'm speaking for her, translating for her.
Okay.
She's Romelia Soto.
Okay. We're going to give you a maximum of 15 minutes to make your statement.
Okay, the only reason we are requesting the permit is, as we were now aware, that you had to have a special permit to have a container on your property. As we went and bought it, and unfortunately, we asked the right questions to the salesman, and the salesman said, yes, you guys are allowed to have the shipping container. There's no special permits you guys have to have in order to have it. Unfortunately, as every salesman wants to sell you the product. And what we did, we bought the product, we have it, then now we are here trying to fight to get some more time. We're trying to buy some time to be able to buy, either get a buyer to buy the container, or for us to collect the money to be able to find a place to pretty much to move it, as we don't have the actual funds for the move and all the towing fees. And you guys know it's a few $1,000s for us to spend, and we don't have it at this time. And the purpose that container was bought as she is building her house in Mexico, and as you guys know, she's trying to get the fixtures, the materials, and all the stuff to take it down there to Mexico. Fortunately, she was renting at the U-Haul 55th Street, and we got some thieves. They come in and they pretty much robbed of her $30,000 of her stuff. And her choice was to go buy her own container, pretty much to have it her own property, so she can have her surveillance take a look at every single time. As unfortunately, at this U-Haul location, they did not do anything for her. So she lost all her belongings. She had a lot of money down the drain. So the easier way for her was to go buy the container, put it on her property, and pretty much to be looking after her own. And now we are here trying to get the permit to be able to pretty much buy the time to be able to, like I said, to get the buyer or find a place that we can take the container to
Okay.
within the zoning amount that allows it to be on site.
Okay. And then this is only 6 months?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have any commissioners that will comment? Commissioner Hill.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you all for being here on this evening. Could we hear from staff? I know you went down to 6 months, right? But I see some areas that we were recommending be improved on that property, and so that's why we pulled it and set it aside. I'd like to know more about that.
Cities News from Planning. Are you speaking about the regulations? Or I'm sorry, could you repeat? Right, there we go. So yes, essentially they have a larger vehicle in the front. That also came with the Planning Commission Board, where they would have to relocate that towards the back alongside the shipping container.
Okay, so basically for 6 months, what I saw is, I saw some complaint and some areas that you all were not following proper protocol as far as where to park, and different stuff on the property and all of that. So that is the reason for my questioning. Even in the 6 months, are you able to follow the proper protocols as far as parking and, because I think I saw something where the parking was in the front yard or something, and it's not like you're the only one. That's for sure. So I'm just asking, as the commissioner for that district, is this something that you could follow the protocol according to what the planning committee has asked.
Yeah, in fact, they asked us if we had some shares stock on top of the container. They already had come down. The only thing that we have now moved, especially since the weather got really bad, is a trailer to park it on the back. That's the only thing. But it was recommended by the city whenever we went to planning that it had a RV cover on it, which it has an RV cover and has been having it for the past few months since we got the first initial letter on the mail.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Commissioner Stites.
Stites District 7. So what are you saying about this RV cover? It's on the shipping container?
No, it's on the trailer, on the cargo trailer in the front.
Cargo trailer up front. So it's sitting on a concrete pad. What was that before, or was that a garage, or?
It has been always the driveway. What they did is pretty much they cut down a little bit the yard and they extended the driveway.
Okay. How long has the container been there?
It's 2 years, going 3 years. It was bought in the summer. So this summer would be 3 years.
3 years?
Mhm.
And how did it come to light that, I mean, why are we here tonight? How did it?
OCD's News from Planning. To my current, I believe the applicant had a letter in regards of the shipping container being in the property. So therefore, they came to planning to request a special use permit.
What do you mean they had a letter?
I believe it was the code officer.
Code enforcement
Code enforcement.
cited them and said they needed to get this addressed.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. So is the trailer or the shipping containers it currently like on Marketplace, or how? It's not? So then how are you saying that you're trying to sell it if it's not up for sale?
Right now, first of all, we need to get the inside the container, the stuff that she has, she needs to move them to Mexico. Like I said, she has her stuff that she's building in it. She doesn't have right now that time to go down to Mexico to drive all the things that she has storage in there. I mean, in order for her to sell the container, she needs to take all her contents out of it.
But that stuff could go into a storage unit, correct?
No, sir.
Why?
She already had like over $30,000 stolen.
But it
out of
could
the
go
storage.
into a store. You could rent a storage unit and it could go back into it, right? And then the neighbors don't have to look at a shipping container sitting in their neighborhood?
Well, the thing is that it's not just her having the shipping container. There's other people around her block that has the shipping containers.
Well,
on their
and I
property.
understand, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but one doesn't make it right? Because somebody else speeds doesn't mean I'm gonna go speed, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it has to get addressed. So I would think that probably, and staff may know this, did the others get letters also to have this addressed?
Planning and urban design, OCDs. I not received notice from any of the other neighbors, at least from code enforcement complaints that they need to be addressed. And that's pretty much all up to my current knowledge at the moment.
This is my opinion, it's not my district, but I'm gonna tell you, if I had a neighbor that had a shipping container sitting in their driveway for 3 years,
Oh, no, it's not a driveway, sir. That's the back of the house.
so what are the no parking signs about then?
No, that's the old neighbor that used to have on the fence. But no, that's pretty much decoration.
No parking sign decoration?
That's what the next door guy did.
I've heard of people putting those decorations
no.
like in their garage or something.
No, that's on the back side. Pretty much there's nothing back there. That's pretty much the back side of the house. Like there's nothing back there.
But if I see a vehicle in this pic, could we go to a couple back to that picture, please?
So are you saying these pictures are outdated?
So there's a picture of a vehicle sitting there, and there's a dump trailer, and then there's
Okay, that's the front, right? That's the front. If you
is that
see
where the
like, right there in
container's at?
Okay, that right there that's the back side. That's behind the house. That's where the shipping container is.
Could we go to that picture that's the last picture? What's that?
That's the container.
That's in their backyard.
That's in the backyard?
Yeah.
Go back. You guys are fast as. So how did people drive into the backyard?
There's a little through.
A what?
There's a little drive-through between both the houses.
Okay. Anyway, okay, we'll have a,
It's like the front, but it's the back.
okay, thank you.
Oh my God. Okay, do you have any closing remarks?
No, ma'am.
No? Staff? No? Okay. Um, any commissioners, do you have any other questions or comments? I'll entertain the motion.
Move for approval.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Pacheco,
Aye.
Stites, Davis,
Aye.
Bynum, Kump,
Aye.
Howard, Burns,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
The vote is 8-1. The motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you trying to push a button? Next is our planning and zoning non-consent agenda. Special use permit applications. The first item on the non-consent agenda is number 7.1.a. Clerk, please read the item.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 7.1A, SP 2025-091, Sandra Knight with Wine Time KC, a recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit for a liquor store at 7543 State Avenue, recommended for approval by a vote of 5-1 for 2 years.
Thank you. I'll now ask staff to make some opening remarks, please. Staff?
Osiris Nunez from Planning. So the applicant is requesting a special use permit for a liquor store located at property address 7543 State Avenue. This is in a commercial strip, essentially a plaza. With that being said, the Planning Commission Board recommends approval for 2 years.
Okay, I'll ask the applicant or representative to come to the podium, please. Please state your name and address for the record and welcome.
Helen Turley, address is 7543 State Avenue.
Sandra Knight.
Okay, we'll allow you up to 15 minutes. Thank you.
So we just
Please use the mic.
wanted to just address about the plan for the liquor store, which is not just a liquor store. We are planning on adding gift shop, coffee shop, and an ice cream place inside. The place is big enough for the 3 spaces, which is almost 4,000 square foot of space. Our intention is to provide a clean and safe environment for our customers, providing packaged only in full-size bottles. We will not be selling any single servings of any sort. We will have a section with gift, birthday cards, wrapping paper and such things like that, coffee shop, pastries, and ice cream, which is Fruitopia. They are inside of all the El Mercado Frescos and World Fresh Market as part of that chain. We're committed to provide on-site security guard at all times to keep an eye on our clients at the liquor store, ice cream place, the coffee shop, as well as the grocery store. We believe that by adding security, the entire shopping center will benefit from this, since drinking on premises and gathering will not be acceptable. Therefore, we believe we are improving the security and cleanliness of the center and providing services that clients are asking for. This was intended in the beginning that it will be, it's the same ownership as El Mercado Fresco on 75 in State Avenue. And we just didn't have enough space to build it inside. And as the store, the clientele grows, that place is extremely busy, doing very well. There is the demand is there for drinks. And we want to be able to service that. And I understand that sometimes might be a concern, but that's the reason of having security and keeping cleanliness and security at all times from opening to close. And also that will be providing employment from 10 to 15 employees.
Okay. Commissioners, do you have any comments or Commissioner Davis?
Thank you, Mayor. This is in my district, and thank you so much for your comments, Ms. Turley. And colleagues, I know there's been some apprehension around liquor stores and things of that nature in our community. When we had this conversation, I felt much differently for a couple of reasons. Number one, you all are already invested in the community, right, at Mercado Fresco, and you are already employing people. So you're already there. Number two, you'll be providing security on site. That's what is in the permit that we are considering tonight. And number three, it's not just going to be a liquor store, but the reason why I kind of shared these papers was kind of coffee shop as well as ice cream and a gift shop. And so for those of you that are trying to place like where this is at, this is the former Elevate restaurant there. So that space has been vacant for quite some time, over 2 years now. And so for there to be more occupancy within Estate Plaza is very exciting. And so again, you all have already done wildly successful and been wildly successful at Mercado's Fresco. I'm really, really excited about this. And I'll hold a motion. Well, I'll hold on a motion for now if there are other questions, but this is really, really exciting. And we're really, really, I look forward to you all success in this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Commissioner Ramirez.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you for your application coming before us. My question always, and planning staff always knows when I see a planning commissioner voting no on it, what was Commissioner Straw's thought process on voting no?
Cities News from Planning. If I remember correctly, I believe he voted no just because it was a liquor store in the nature of the business.
Oh, and that was just his reasoning for the no.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. That's my only question.
Thank you. Commissioner Pacheco.
Thank you, Mayor. Commissioner Pacheco, District 5. So, thank you for coming before us. I appreciate it. So Mercado Fresco's been there and doing wonderful. And so basically your guys' idea was, hey, we didn't have enough space where Big Lots was at. Elevate's right next door. What used to be Elevate, that's where we want to put the business. It just seems like a natural accompaniment to what you're already doing.
Correct.
Have you had any major security issues at the big location of the supermarket, Mercado Fresco?
Not at all. You know, the place is so busy, and I think that the constant traffic, it's actually kept things running smoothly.
Very good. No, I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Stites.
Stites District 7, and I'll tell you, I'm glad your grocery store's in. I love it. Frequent it
Wonderful.
very often.
Happy to be
It's
there.
very good to see a nice, good, clean, well-ran business in there. It's been needed for a long time. I'm excited to see what you guys will do with the other location. If you guys remember back, that used to be a police academy. There was a police academy class that went through there years ago. So anyway, just some history. But if Commissioner Davis held the motion, I guess I'll hold my second until everybody's finished.
He hasn't
But
done one yet, but thank you.
Thank you.
very much.
Commissioner Bynum.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to say thank you for Mercado Fresco. And congratulations on the success of that store. And this shop, with the menus we've been given, I want to make sure I understand. Are you going to divide the space inside? Like one side is our tea and muffins and the other side is
It's the liquor store.
Okay.
It's almost 4,000 square
Okay,
foot of a
okay.
space. So we leased out the space with that in mind. Originally it was just gonna be Fruitopia, the ice cream part of it, in the liquor store. But then, in conversations with Commissioner Davis, the coffee shop came up, and we already have a coffee shop out in Overland Park that is doing very well, which is the menu that you see there. And we just decided to incorporate that into this project as well.
Okay, and just one final question. Could I get a bagel added to this menu?
You can get whatever you want.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll take your order before I leave. Deliver it tomorrow morning.
Okay. I'll leave final remarks to Commissioner Davis.
Thank you. I wanted to kind of follow up on Commissioner Ramirez's question regarding Commissioner Strauss, who's on the Planning Commission. I actually did have a conversation with Commissioner Strauss about this and kind of relayed some of the comments just to make sure. And so he completely understood kind of where I was at. He's actually my appointee in the Planning Commission. And so there was no kind of, conflicting views on this particular project. There was a meeting of the minds of kind of the three of us, and that's how we got here. So with that, I'll go ahead and move to approve.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Pacheco,
Aye.
Stites, Davis,
Absolutely. Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Kump,
Aye.
Howard,
Aye.
Burns,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
The vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you so much. We are very happy and excited to be in Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas, and we have a lot more plans to keep bringing business to Wyandotte County because you guys have made it easy for us to stay here. So we
Thank you
love to
very
work
much.
with you all. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
You can say that more often. Okay. All right, the last item on the non-consent agenda is item 7.1.b. Clerk, please read the item.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 7.1B, SP 2025-092, Nadidi Obafwana with Grace Home Care at Piper Inc., a recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit for a group senior living home at 2815 North 115th Street, recommended for approval by a vote of 5-1 for 2 years.
All right, thank you. Staff, would you like to make any opening remarks?
City's names from planning. So the applicant, Ms. Diddy, she is requesting a special use permit for a group senior living home at the property located at 2815 North 115th Street. The property is zone R1. Planning Commission Board recommends approval of 2 years.
Okay. If the applicant's here, can you please state your name and address for the record? And you'll have up to 15 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you, Chair, and my dear commissioners. My name is Didi Obiefuna. I live at 4524 North 108th Street, Kansas City, Kansas, in Piper Estate. My goal is to bring a senior living to Wyandotte County.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned in my previous presentation, this is something that we don't have in this community, and the property had been sitting idle for some time. It went on sale, and then they retrieved it, and it came out on sale again, and I saw that. I went for this because I don't want to go back to what I presented the last time, but we are lacking in some of these facilities. The state of Kansas had a goal of having such homes where the seniors will age gracefully in a home-like environment, not really facility. So that's why they encourage it to be in residential areas. I'm a nurse practitioner by profession, and I have seen a lot of need in terms of the aging population. My dad went through all that, so I became very passionate about having something like this because in my community, my parents lived with me, and now they are getting older. I couldn't find any place for my dad, and unfortunately, I lost him. And it became something that is very deeply seated in me to find something like that for my community. I raised my children in Piper, and I still live in Piper, and it's a growing community. And so if we have the Piper, which is an assisted living facility, so for the aging population that do not want to stay in a facility-like environment, there isn't any option, unless if you go to Overland Park or Leawood. So since I had the community meeting with the neighborhood, the interest is overwhelming. They are all for it. In fact, I requested to have 6 to 7 beds just to start and see how it is. I am in the process of renovating the area, but the interest was so much, I reached back out to ask, can I increase the beds? The state of Kansas says you can have up to 12 beds, but because the building has only 4 bedrooms, I requested for a permit to add 2 additional rooms so they can have, like, they are not crowded in one room, but they can have their individual spaces. And I was approved to add those 2 beds. So I requested on my application for 6 to 7. However, after the meeting, I reached out and said, can we go up a little bit? But the answer was no, because that's what I had communicated already in my meeting, that it would be just 6 to 7 beds. So it's gonna be only 7 beds to start with. But I believe that the need may be much more than I anticipated. But, you know, it's taking me a lot. My whole heart is into it, that it's gonna look beautiful, because I'm gonna put a fence and just to give that place a good lift, because the building is like old and the area looks a little bit not good, and it's kind of nestled in new subdivision. So why that plot was not purchased by any of the developers, I'm not really sure why, but it's coming out really good. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
But I have a concern about the stipulations and the conditions that was in my staff comments. And I wanted a little bit clarification on that, just to make sure I'm doing everything right.
Okay. You probably can have that conversation with the planning staff afterwards. At this time, we'll go ahead and take comments or questions from the commission board. Is that okay, Nene?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Commissioner Kump.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you. I think this is a tremendous initiative, and we owe it to our aging population to give them places to age gracefully. My questions are just really logistical. Will this facility be staffed 24/7? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then what is the, I guess, the security look like in terms of, we don't want people getting in or wandering out. So what does that look like?
Okay, right now, it has a fence that I would tear down and put a privacy fence, a white picket privacy fence. It has 5 exits from the building. So there is gonna be 3 exits at the back and 2 exits in front. So on the side, all around the building behind it will be enclosed with a fence. And then there is gonna be under 24-hour surveillance as well too. So, also there is always gonna be staff there 24/7, adequate enough to at least 2 people is gonna be there 24/7. So for the 6-7.
Awesome, thank you. I don't have any further questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Kump. Commissioner Bynum.
Thank you, Mayor. In this line of work, in a home setting, do you still have licensing requirements from the state?
Absolutely,
I
it
thought
is
so.
heavily regulated.
Okay, because I thought you would be administering medications and things like that.
It's
Okay.
highly regulated. You have to get a license from state of Kansas, and then you have the fire marshal regulations regarding the, the code print and everything. And then you have the health. The Kansas Department of Aging and Disability is the licensing body, but they have regulations that they have to follow, like the fire marshal, the Department of Health, and also you have policies that aligns with CDC and the Health Department requirements. So much as it's a home kind of setting, it's highly regulated. So, and it's also monitored. And I love the fact that it is, to make sure that those elderly population are getting the best care they need, and they are allowed to age the way they want. So,
Very good.
Thank you. It's personal for me, number one, because I'm aging, but also I was talking with Commissioner Burns this afternoon about this topic. My 27-year-old son moved in with my 94-year-old mother and lived with her and cared for her so that we would keep her from a institution. And so it really tugs at my emotions, and I thank you for doing the work. That is work that I don't think just anyone would like to do. It's very special, and we do not have nearly enough options in Wyandotte County for our seniors, whether it's independent living or skilled care. And so I just wanted to commend you for this project and being here tonight to bring it to us. Also, I was curious on the stipulations that we've placed on the item. Was there one of them specifically that you wanted to draw our attention to? Do you know
Yes.
which one it is?
number 4, please.
And what is it that, so we are saying the existing 2-car garage must remain unaltered to comply with the parking requirement? And so what would your request be?
Since the requirement is for every home to have one covered garage, this home had 3 garages originally. And then I asked for a permit to convert the 2-car garage into bedrooms so I can have the 6 rooms. And so that was approved, and I went ahead to start the project before I now got this. And I am like, what do I do now? You know, that they want that to remain intact.
So let me understand. In order to comply with number 4, you would now have to convert back? Or did I misunderstand?
I guess I'm trying to understand the requirement to have those 2 garages remain unaltered, because that was the basis of my getting the 2 rooms, to convert the 2-car garage, because there is still 1-car garage. There is still 1-car garage with the building. So
Staff,
that's-
can you answer that?
OCD's Nunez planning OCD's Nunez, sorry guys. So the property is zone R1, which if we go on the second page of the staff report, on the middle section, it states a parking requirement, which states that the property shall have at least 1 parking space, either in a garage or a carport. The property has a garage currently towards the southeast of the property, and then another one located in the western part. With that being said, the applicant is currently wanting to adjust these 2 garages into the 2 bedrooms, which is fine. However, this garage that's located up in the north part, that has to stay unaltered. It has to maintain there in order to to comply with R1 single family district guidelines.
So Needy, do you understand? Two, you can convert the one car garage.
I can't convert the one, but I can convert the two, right?
So this right here, which is also what the applicant was proposing to alter, to add the 2 rooms, that's fine, as long as the garage in the north where I'm pointing at,
Which is the
that
one.
stays without being moved.
Right, that's the one car, correct?
Correct.
You can convert the other one,
Okay.
okay?
So are we gonna change that in the recommendations then, so it's clear? I'm just a little bit worried.
Right, because the way it reads is the existing 2-car garage on the west side of the home must remain. So it probably needs to say the 1-car garage on the east side, is that?
We can adjust.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. Great. Commissioner Pacheco. Name you.
Thank you, Mayor Pacheco, District 5. Please correct me if I'm incorrect. Ms. Obifuna, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. So this is wonderful. I
It is.
congratulate you.
Mm.
As a physician, you're a colleague of mine. And man, every day in clinic, I feel like I hear from patients of mine who say, man, I wish we had this sort of a thing in Wyandotte County. And so I think this is an opportunity to give somebody the chance to do it the right way, to see that it can be done, and then hopefully we expand it to other parts of the county. So I congratulate you, and I look forward to your success on it. One
Thank you
quick
so
question to planning staff is, I'll steal from my colleague Commissioner Ramirez. What was the opposition?
If I were OCD's news from planning, it was the zoning, they were just asking for further clarification whether this use was allowed in R1, which with the special use permit is.
Very good. Yeah, nothing else. Congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Pacheco. Commissioner Burns.
Yes. Ma'am, I just want to commend you for stepping forward. It's a very big need in this community. I don't know why you were looking at me when you kept saying aging. But anyway, I commend you for coming forward and helping out our community for a big, big need. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Commissioner
I
Burns.
look
We need
forward to
that
that.
laugh. Commissioner Hill.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to say thank you also. What a brave step you have taken. This is, I believe, a awesome opportunity for our community. And it does take someone with some inner strength to pull all these wires together. So thank you. I want to make sure, as my question, I want to make sure that you have enough parking. Do you have enough parking? And my next question is, is everything clear now in regards to rooms versus parking?
Thank you for the question. This property sits on 0.89 acres. And so I have a lot of space. We have actually taken down some trees to make room. There will be a parking lot that will be constructed. We should be able to contain about 8 to 10 cars when it's all done. So we have enough room in front, right of the building, once you come in from the street. So we have that space all there to make room for parking. And so, remember, sorry about that. And what the rooms, like I said, we are in the process of finishing construction. Of course, the inspection will happen. And then after the county inspections, then I will have the KDAD's inspections to make sure that the rooms are safe. They are already mapped out to be big enough for even 2 people, but I just wanted it that way so they can feel really at home and comfortable, just like their own homes. So the room sizes had been approved pretty much before we even got started. And that's why I asked to add those 2 rooms. The current rooms are even adequate by state standard. However, just because I wanted to have them just enjoy the place. And this is going to be the very first one. So my whole heart is in this, honestly. So I want to make it in such a way that when they live there, they are really happy because the spaces, they have common spaces as well outside of their rooms. So based on the requirements and based on fire marshal code and the licensed architect, whatever, we had to make so many adjustments to be able to meet. So the rooms are adequate and they are about finishing. And then we'll have the city come out. And if we pass, then we have the CADAS come out again. And then they have been coming out, the inspectors from the CADAS had been there about 3 times. So just to kind of make sure that the environment is safe and whatever we are constructing the room suites is within the recommended heights. And, it's not very complicated equipments like the shower heads or whatever, all of those. So we make sure, like I said, it's highly regulated. So, yeah.
Thank you. Commissioner Stites.
Stites District 7. So I just have the one question, like Commissioner Ramirez said earlier about the one outlier. What was the one outlier on this one particularly?
OCD's Municipal Planning. If I remember correctly, it was just asking whether the proposed use is allowed within the current zoning, which again, with the special use permit, she can do what she's proposing to do without a special use permit if she keeps it at 5 individuals in the property. The reason why she's needing a special use permit, it's because she's wanting to go above 5.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you. Motion to approve.
Come second.
Okay, legal.
To clarify, is that motion to approve, including the change to condition number 4 with the the 2
Yeah.
parking garages and allowing those to remain?
Yes.
And then just requiring the one to remain, to
convert.
convert. And
And the only caveat that I would say, but to answer your question, yes, it would be nice if these things get worked out before they get to us, right? It's a little disappointing that she's here and we're trying to negotiate something that should have been taken care of before it got to us. And I'm not saying anybody did wrong. I'm just saying, let's try to make sure that those things are wrapped up prior to getting to us. So yes, that is my motion with the changes that were mentioned.
Yeah, that's my second.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Pacheco,
Aye.
Stites,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Kump,
Aye.
Howard,
Aye.
Burns,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
The vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
Thank
Thank
you all,
you.
my dear commissioners.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, at this time, are we done? That was 7-1B. That concludes the planning and zoning portion of tonight's meeting. We will now move to the regular portion of our agenda. All right, that takes us to the regular consent agenda. Is any member of the commission or county administrator? Thank you, planning. Thank you, appreciate you. County administrator wish to set aside any item on the regular consent agenda? If an item is not set aside, all items on the regular consent agenda will be voted on by one vote. Commissioner Bynum.
I move to approve all items on the consent agenda.
David, second.
There is a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please. No, there isn't. Oh. No. Commissioner Stites?
Stites, I will be recusing from 9.2 and 9.3, but we'll be voting on all remaining items.
Thank you. Is that noted? Clerk? An attorney? You good?
Yes, thank you.
You're good? All right. There is a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Pacheco,
Aye.
Stites, Davis,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Kump,
Aye.
Howard,
Aye.
Burns,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
The vote is 9-0, motion carries.
Thank you. We're now on our public hearing agenda. We have one item under public hearing section this evening related to the Buc-ee's project. The first item has two elements. The first element is conducting a public hearing to receive comments regarding the establishment of a redevelopment district. The second element, which will require a vote, is approving an ordinance establishing the redevelopment or TIF district. I'll turn the matter over to our county administrator, Mr. David Johnson, for opening remarks and introduction of staff.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. What we have before you is actually just establishing public hearings. And I'm going to turn the microphone over to our Economic Development Council, Todd LaSala. Mr. LaSala?
Sure. Commissioners, I will give you a very brief presentation about the TIF portion of the Buc-ee's deal. You have seen a number of elements of this. We've previously approved a development agreement. What we're really doing tonight is implementing that development agreement. You may remember that the incentives in the Buc-ee's project are about $13 million, 3.3 of which is the TIF, and the rest of it is CID. This TIF is a little bit unique in that it is time limited, and it's limited to 15 years as opposed to the 20 that is typically available. And it's also limited in the amount of increment that is pledged to Buc-ee's. In this, the base year is really zero, and so increment is a kind of a funny term to use, but the increment is really, it's limited to 50% of the incremental city sales tax collected from the project area and 25% of the UG share of the county tax. So, and it's a total TIF cap of about $3.3 million. So I'll stop there, but this is part of the Buc-ee's package that has been before you before. Again, tonight we're implementing, and that's really a summary of what's going on in the TIF project area and the project plan. Happy to answer any questions, Mayor.
Any questions, comments? All right, at this time, I will open the meeting up for public comments. You will be given up to 3 minutes to state your comments. Before speaking, please be sure to announce your name and residence for the record. Comments should be limited to the topic at hand. Disruptive comments and behavior are not permitted and may result in removal from the meeting. Clerk, do we have anyone who has submitted written comments?
No comments have been submitted.
Do we have anyone in chambers who has signed up to speak?
We have no one who signed up to speak.
Do we have anyone online with their hands raised?
There are no hands raised.
Thank you. I will now close the public hearing. Do any members of the commission have any comments or questions again? Hearing none, no further comments, I will entertain a motion for approval of the ordinance to establish the redevelopment district.
Move for approval.
Second.
It has been moved, motion and second. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Pacheco?
Aye.
Stites? Davis? Nope, he's gone. Bynum?
Aye.
Kump?
Aye.
Howard?
Aye.
Burns?
Aye.
Ramirez?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
The vote is 8-0. The motion carries.
All righty, moving right along. We have one item under our administrator's agenda this evening. This item requests the adoption of a resolution to set the public hearing regarding adoption of the neighborhood revitalization area and plan. The proposed hearing date is February 19, 2026. I will ask our county administrator, David Johnston, to introduce the item and present staff.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, for such an enthusiastic introduction. I do appreciate it. What we here have is, again, trying to adopt a public hearing to establish the renewal of our Neighborhood Revitalization Act that we've had in place for a number of years. And every so often it has to get renewed, so it's on the renewal cycle. And that's why it will be for you later, but we have to start by establishing a public hearing. Wendy Green, our deputy counsel, be here to offer any comments.
Thank you, County Administrator. Good evening, Commissioners, Mayor. Wendy Green, Deputy Chief Counsel. David explained it perfectly. This is just a resolution in front of you just to set the public hearing. It's a statutory requirement for us to adopt an NRA plan, that we have a public hearing. And at the evening of the public hearing, which would be February 19th, we would have the public hearing, and then we would also have the adoption of the NRA plan as well. So on that evening, it would be presented to the full commission. There were some changes. I do believe we did have some discussions in small groups about what those changes are. So we do have, the revised plan was provided in the packet with this resolution, but tonight all we're asking is for the resolution to be adopted to set that public hearing.
Commissioner Bynum.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to move that we adopt the resolution to set the public hearing for February 19 on the designation of the neighborhood revitalization area.
David, second.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Pacheco?
Aye.
Stites?
Aye.
Davis?
Aye.
Bynum?
Aye.
Kump?
Aye.
Howard?
Aye.
Burns?
Aye.
Ramirez?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
The vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
Woohoo, we are down to the Land Bank Board of Trustees consent agenda. Does any member of the commission or county administrator wish to set aside any item on the Land Bank consent agenda?
Mayor? We would
Oh,
need-
oh, sorry, attorney. I got excited. We almost done before 9 PM. What am I do? What I do?
We need a motion to go into land bank, please.
Oh, I'm so sorry. See, I got really excited. Okay, that concludes the portion of our regular meeting, and I adjourn us in that capacity. I will entertain a motion to adjourn as the Board of Commissioners and call us back to order as the Land Bank Board of Trustees.
So moved.
David, second.
There is a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Pacheco?
Aye.
Stites? Davis?
Aye.
Bynum?
Aye.
Kump?
Aye.
Howard?
Aye.
Burns?
Aye.
Ramirez?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
The vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
Music to my ears. Does any member of the commission or county administrator wish to set aside any item on the Land Bank consent agenda? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve all items as submitted.
David, second.
There is a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Pacheco?
Aye.
Stites? Davis?
Aye.
Bynum?
Aye.
Kump?
Aye.
Howard?
Aye.
Burns?
Aye.
Ramirez?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
The vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
All right. We will now move to Land Bank non-consent agenda. We have one item under the non-consent agenda, Land Bank options. This item involves multiple addresses on Greeley Avenue as described on the agenda. The developer is LMK and Associates LLC, contemplating 6 homes. This item was heard by the Neighborhood and Community Development Standing Committee, chaired by Commissioner Davis on Monday, December 8, 2025. I'll ask Commissioner Davis to make some remarks.
I don't have any remarks. I'll just hand it over to staff.
Thank you. Staff have any remarks or comments? 5 minutes. No. Or less.
Thank you. Michael Sutton, redevelopment coordinator. Yes, with this item, the only issue that we had was the neighborhood group wanted an update from the developer. The developer already has an option on 5 lots, literally across the street from where this development would be. The developer also provided us with an update at NCD, or excuse me, Neighborhood Community Development, and they've also followed up with me and the neighborhood as far as providing us with specific details with how they'd like to move forward.
Okay, so no issue now. All right. Thank you. Does any member of the commission have any comments or questions?
Move for approval.
David, second.
There is a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Roll call, Pacheco,
Aye.
Stites, Davis,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Hump,
Aye.
Howard,
Aye.
Burns,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
The vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
Well, with no further business to come before the governing body, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
David, second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Can I clarify who made the motion, please? Thank you.
Our last 7 o'clock meeting.
Okay, roll call, please.
Call, Pacheco.
Aye.
Stites, Davis,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Hump,
Aye.
Howard,
Aye.
Burns,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
The vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
We are adjourned.
Who made that second? Do you remember? For the last one, for the